Hi, Sharon Durbin Graves. We're going to be talking about some fundamentals of art about color theory, something that everybody needs to understand. And so let's get to it. Hey everybody, we're going to talk about the fundamentals of art and we're going to look at some color theory. I needed some ultramarine blue the other day, and I usually just either get online at one of my suppliers or go to one of the big, Michael's or Hobby Lobby. And I happened to be at a Hobby Lobby and they had two shades of ultramarine blue. One is a green shade and one is a red shade. I'm sure they've probably been out there forever like that, but I didn't notice it. So I didn't know which one to buy. I thought I needed the red one, but we'll see. So I'm gonna this is the green one. I'm going to move these out of the way. This is the green shade of ultramarine blue, and this is the red shade of ultramarine blue. Now, sitting there next to each other, I don't know about you, but they don't look any different to me. So we're going to see what they do different. The complement of blue on the color wheel, here's blue. And the opposite is the complement, and that's orange. And it's that way with every color. So we're going to take a little peek and see what some of this blue does with these various colors. I could make a color chart, and I probably will still do that, but I just wanted to show a few things. Okay, so this is the green shade. Now I'm going to pull the paint off and work down here. Okay. So now I'm going to pick up some of that white. I want to see, white's a great equalizer. It actually tells you what you have. Now remember, this is the green shade of ultramarine blue. Okay, so I'm going to rinse my brush because I want to try a couple of different things. Oh, you can't really tell what's going on. Let me just adjust this camera because I can't adjust my table. There we go. Sorry. Okay, I'm going to pick up some of the I meant to get orange and I got yellow. I wasn't thinking, was I? Okay, so here comes some of the orange. And I'm going to put it down here in this blue. I'm going to pick up some more of that. When you mix two complements together, it grays the color. Doesn't mean you get a gray color. It means it dulls the color. So I'm adding this blue to the orange and it's dulling that orange. But the fun thing about mixing this particular complement set together is if you add white to that, you will actually get a gray. And this is how I make my gray, is by adding blue and orange. And depending on if I want a warm gray or a cool gray, I add more orange or more blue. Okay, so I see how that works. I'm going to rinse my brush. I'm going to pull off some more blue right in here. I'm going to pick up some of this yellow. We all know yellow and blue, green makes green. That's a pretty color. And I'm going to add a little bit of white out here to give you a value. Now I could continue adding white out here and you would see the values, and you can do that with any color. Okay, I'm going to rinse that off my brush. And I'm going to pick up one more piece of the blue. I'm going to bring it out here. And now I'm going to add a warm red on one side and a cool red on the other. You can see that this is the warm red. Okay. And rinsing my brush because I want to get a true color. And here is the cool red. Okay, so that's making a pretty good purple. I'm going to add a little more blue to that. That makes a really nice purple. Now I'm going to pick up some white. This is such a dark color, it's hard to see what you have. When you add some white to it, then you can really see what you've got. Okay, so there we go with that. So we've got some color variations from that ultramarine blue green shade. Now let's see what it does with, this is the red shade over here. So I'm going to pull off some of this, put it down here, and I'm going to add some of that white to that. There. Okay, so that's the color that we get. So now you're looking at this with the blue and that with this blue. Okay, so I'm not seeing a huge amount of difference. Maybe it'll show up at another when we're adding something else, because I need some more blue. So I'm going to add my complement, which is the orange, to this blue. Let's see what we get here. I don't want to cover up all of that because I want you to still be able to see that. So I'm going to add some more of that blue to, again, tone it down, graying the color. Okay, so that looks interesting. I'm going to pick up some of this white and I'm going to come over here with it. There. Okay, this looks a little cooler to me than this one over here. We'll see. This part almost looks a little warmer, but it could be the amount of orange that's in there. Okay, I'm cleaning out my brush. I'm going to pick up some more of this blue red shade. I'm going to put it right here. And I'm going to add some of that yellow. I'm going to work on the other side so I don't pick up some of that blue and mix it, and then I won't know what I have. I don't need that much yellow. There. Okay, I just covered up all of my blue, which I didn't really mean to do. Okay, so that green, this green over here looks warmer to me than that green. So I'm going to pick up some of the white and I'm going to add to this edge. And I'm going to pick up a little more white. I'm making a value. Okay, and now a little more white. Okay, so you can see the values as they come down. Now, unless you get the exact amounts of everything, it's not going to be, they're not going to be exactly the same. I'm going to try to get some, I'm going to add some more blue here. I'm going to come right here with it. And remember what I added next? I added some warm and cool reds. Okay, so here comes my warm red. And it's on this side. Red eats everything, so I might have added a little too much red. There we go. That looks pretty decent. Okay, I'm going to rinse my brush. And now I'm going to pick up some of the cool red. I'm going to go on this side. Adding a little more blue to that. I want to see where the purple shows up. It just showed up. That purple just showed up there. Okay, so now you can see this is warmer, this is cooler. I'm going to add some white to each of those, and that'll really tell us what it is we have there. So here's, that's a pretty shade. That is a really pretty shade. You know, I didn't add it, the white, to this side over here. But that's a really pretty, and that's with a warm red and the ultramarine blue. Either of them both make a good color. Now I'm going to pick up my last little bit of white here and work in this side. So that almost makes this is more of a violet and this is a lavender. And so this is with a warm red and this is with a cool red. So I personally don't see a huge amount of difference in the two blues. So, but I do see difference in how it mixes with other paints. This is, and this is with the green shade, all this right in here, and this is with the red shade all in here. This is warmer. This makes a warmer green here. It makes a warmer gray. This gray is warmer than this. I'm not sure that there's a lot of difference showing up there, but it does show up in how it mixes with other colors. This is with a warm red, and so this is with a warm red. This is with a cool red, and this is with a cool red. And let's just add a little more white to this and see. There, okay. So that looks warmer to me than that. I can't really tell you what's warm and cool, what makes it that way. I mean, technically there's answers and all that, but I can show you. And so I'm hoping that you can see the difference here between this, and particularly between this right here and this right here. These grays, this is definitely a cooler gray. This is a warmer gray. This is definitely a cooler green. And these are cooler colors than we created over here. So there you have, we have two different ultramarine blues that we used in this example today. And if you want to know what your colors do with you want to add a new color to your palette, you have to do something like this. You either have to make a color chart or you have to actually play in the paint so you can see what one color, how it reacts with another. So thank you so much. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did, give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and we're going to paint together real soon. Have a great day. Sharon Durbin Graves, painting with acrylics101.com.